Now, I don't know if this is official here or if Mike Mayo is Mr. Mayor himself is pulling our leg with this next pick here. I can't imagine that is true, but if it is indeed, things are going to get real wacky real fast. You can see the look on Thor's face here. Now, is this a draft and trade scenario? Because that's what it feels like to me, Thor. If indeed this is what it is. And I don't want to say it yet because it's not official as of right now. But the look on Thor's face is screen grab worthy. So I hope from a social media standpoint we're doing it. Because the rumor is right now that the pick is Michael Penix. Now, that I don't understand. If the Falcons are drafting Penix, it's to draft and then trade him. Obviously, you don't go get Kirk Cousins and then turn that around. So, Thor, I gave you a couple seconds to process your feelings. What are your feelings and thoughts if indeed Penix is somehow the selection here at the Falcons?
It's stunning on a couple different levels. Obviously, they just gave all their salary cap resources. They just devoted that into Kirk Cousins. Mm-hmm. So, and you have multiple years of that position that are now solved, and you're going to take a quarterback who is in college for 6 years, with the number 8 pick. Do you not have any intentions of attempting to win during the 2 years where you signed Kirk, or 3 years or whatever it is? What about the window for that? I don't. The thing with, I mean, you don't really see too often a player.
I've never seen you speechless. I've known you for a few years now. Speechless Thor is not a version of Thor that I see very often.
I'm just trying to process this thing. Obviously, someone in that building really loved Michael Penix, which fine, great. You love Michael Penix. You had the 8th pick. Why did you give all your free agent money to Kirk Cousins then? Right, like. If you were going to take Penix, that's a guy who should be playing right away. If he can't play right away, can he play at all? Right? I mean, again, 6 years in college, had the 4 season-ending injuries in a row at Indiana. You have to project him as a guy who's going to come in early. But it's like now they picked him as the Jordan Love to the Aaron Rodgers. I'm just so confused by what they've done here, and they had legitimate roster holes, all 3 defensive levels.
Yeah.
I mean, the 2, right? The defensive front, be it the interior defensive lineman, Murphy.
Right, you're looking for an edge rusher. You're looking for a corner.
Yeah,
right? That's what you're looking for here.
Turner against Latu, and then Mitchell against Arnold. You got to lead the dance. There has been no defender taken. To go Penix here is off the grid in a way that I don't understand. I'm curious to get an explanation when they have to answer for this.
Well, from a fantasy perspective, if indeed Michael Penix is officially the next selection, it's not a draft and trade, which we've seen before. So I'm trying to make sure Thor's brain doesn't melt down here in the 9 o'clock hour because we've still got a few hours left to go of the NFL draft. I don't want that to happen quite yet. But Erickson, Michael Penix then becomes a guy that if you draft in your dynasty league, you're going to have to sit on for multiple seasons potentially.
So I'm looking at this from a different perspective because I actually have a Michael Penix to the Falcons ticket that just cashed at plus 3,000.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So number one,
congrats, brother.
But also this means my quarterbacks going under 4.5 that's all burned. That's going to burn because
the NFL draft gods giveth and the NFL draft gods take
exactly.
Away.
So, when I made the case for making the bet, I looked into it a little bit more. Taylor Heineke, last year of his contract. I looked at the Falcons roster, and overall, we looked at them with a defensive piece because we felt like that's what they needed. They felt like they were set on offense. So I felt like the Falcons were a more complete team and that they actually did need to invest into the backup quarterback position because Kirk Cousins is coming off a torn Achilles injury. This is how this team crashes and burns, is Kirk Cousins is not ready. So I think that's the angle that they're looking at is we feel good about our defense. We know our offense is loaded. We just have to make sure we have a quarterback and we have Kirk, but he's coming off a torn Achilles. We cannot afford to blow at a quarterback. So they doubled down and drafted Michael Penix, who Thor talked about. It's he can step in and play right away, because he has the experience. So I get that from a value perspective. Again, he should have gone around 2. We can argue that. We don't know. We don't know if he was going to fall around 2 or whatever. So I get that. But I mean, the Falcons have a good defense. They have pieces in place. They could have improved at edge or cornerback, but I really don't hate it as much. Again, it's not a home run pick, but that's how at least I'm seeing the pick here. So
the interesting thing here, though, is, the Atlanta Falcons, I think, It's very surprising. I think let's put it out there just like that. I've been a Penix apologist, and Scott Bogman knows this because all year long I would hit him up every Saturday evening and say, "Man, I really like Penix. What I saw to him today, I really like." I mean, Penix to me is that guy that's got the ability to make the big throws. He's got the stones to do it in the big spots too. So arm strength is not an issue for Penix. Again, athleticism is there for Penix. I understand what you're saying, Thor. A guy that's 6 years of college is a lot of college. Those people sometimes are called doctors, but in the NFL, that's not always what you're looking to do from an investability standpoint. However, now that this is in here, and it does seem like it is not a trade scenario, if Kirk Cousins only plays another year or two, let's say, maybe perhaps that's what he's told them is, hey, I've got a year or two left in this body. I'm letting you know now. Is this potentially a very savvy move when you put that perspective on it?
Categorically, no. This was stupid.
I tried so hard. Thor.
Yeah,
I tried so hard, but
it doesn't make any sense from any perspective. Again, great. You love Michael Penix. Knock yourself out. Pick him here. Why did you give Cousins that contract then? You could have delineated that salary cap space elsewhere. I really don't understand it. To me, this is an egregious reach, number one, by a team that didn't need it, the 6-year player when they have the veteran quarterback signed for multiple years. I don't know what you're doing is skewing the short-term needs. When you draft when you sign a guy like Kirk Cousins, you're seemingly indicating that you're attempting to win here these next couple of years. And if it was the other way, you like Penix so much, why did you sign Cousins? Penix is the guy that comes in, plays right away. If he's not a finished product right now, I don't know what else we're going to see. The guy had one of the best offensive play callers that we have in college football. He's a guy, Kalen DeBoer is a guy who is so gifted at what he does. He got Tom Allen, who is this can of a head coach at Indiana, the kind of dopey guy. He got Tom Allen, this extension that is going to take care of Tom Allen's family for generations, 20 generations, because Kalen DeBoer was so good, et cetera. But Kalen DeBoer was the guy that coached Penix, throughout, with a couple of exceptions in there when he went to Fresno State. DeBoer did, but they met up then again back at Washington. You have right now Penix coming out of Washington as close to what he is going to be. I'll get into the things that I'll start with what I like. The kid has an awesome arm. Okay. The pill shoots out of there. That's super. Like it's the mechanics are non-repeatable and wonky, but sometimes it doesn't make sense.